The Academy vessel Stellar Wisdom was regarded as the crown jewel of the educational fleet. With quantum drives, a self-healing hull, and an AI perfected over 800 cycles, it ferried 300 students on the yearly journey to witness the twin nebula. Few noticed the lone human exchange student fiddling in the corner of the observation deck. Jake Rodriguez was always restless. While classmates, brilliant minds from 17 species, debated complex xenophysics, he quietly dismantled and reassembled his stylus. It was a habit from Earth, born of ADHD and long hours pulling apart appliances just to see how they worked. Professor Velix lectured, her crystalline body scattering starlight. The nebula's streams create unique gravitational distortions. We must maintain distance. Jake's head jerked up. A faint change in the ship's hum. He had heard that sound once before, right before his uncle's truck transmission failed. But this wasn't a pickup. This was a starship. Surely the others had noticed. No one reacted. They continued debating while Jake slipped away unnoticed. In a maintenance corridor, he pried open an access panel. The universal pass granted entry anywhere, a flaw he had discovered in his first week but never reported. The readouts looked normal to most. To Jake, raised on duct tape and prayer fixes, something was wrong. A micro-fluctuation in the quantum field generator. Harmless at first, but compounding exponentially. His mind, often scattered in theory, suddenly snapped into clarity. "Oh crap," he muttered. In 43 minutes, the drive would collapse into a feedback loop, tearing the ship out of hyperspace inside a star. He should alert someone. But who would trust the human student barely scraping by in physics? The same kid mocked for suggesting backup systems. Jake reached for his multi-tool, a battered Swiss Army knife his dad had given him. Security had dismissed it as a primitive trinket. He crawled into the shaft. The generator loomed before him, magnificent and lethal. He didn't need theory. He understood flow, rhythm, resistance, the instincts that let humans throw straight. 20 minutes later, sweat soaking his shirt, he found it. A coupling no bigger than his thumb, cracked from thermal stress near the last star. The auto-repair systems had ignored it, since technically it still functioned, like an engine block with a hairline fracture. Fine until suddenly catastrophic. Jake lacked a replacement, but he had something else. A wad of earth chewing gum and foil from his snack wrapper. "Please don't let me kill us all," he whispered, pressing gum over the crack and wrapping foil to redirect the charge. The fix was ugly, temporary, and absurd. It worked. The hum smoothed. The fluctuation vanished. Jake wriggled back just as his roommate, Flux the Thranai, floated by. "You missed Professor Velix explaining nebular structures," Flux said. "Bathroom," Jake lied, slipping his scorched tool into his pocket. "Human digestion, you know." Flux gave a sympathetic chime and drifted away. 3 hours later, Stellar Wisdom docked without incident. Students disembarked, chatting about nebulae. Maintenance crews began their routine checks. Chief Engineer Korvac froze at the quantum drive. "By the 7 suns," he rasped. "Stage 5 coupling failure. Patched with what?" His assistant calculated the odds. If it had ruptured, the ship would have dropped into Sigma 7's heart. 0 survival. Yet the repair log was blank. They studied the bizarre patch. Organic polymer and primitive conductor arranged with bizarre but flawless logic. Impossible. Effective. Security feeds showed nothing. Jake had avoided cameras like a veteran of midnight sneakouts. Only trace human DNA on the panel hinted at the truth. The report was sealed. Families would never learn how close their children had come to disaster. Jake carried on with his studies, still stumbling over quantum equations while casually plotting trajectories better than the NAV computer. He told no one. On Earth you didn't boast about fixing things. You just fixed them. Quietly. Besides, he had a new worry. The patch would hold only 3 months. The coupling would fail again. Jake was already saving gum. But even quiet heroes could slip.